Mercury is crucial to small-scale gold mining in South America, but increasing scrutiny of its health and environmental impacts in the Amazon is leading to its prohibition throughout the continent.
Unfortunately, mercury can affect the neurological system, the brain and nervous system.
But if the trade in the quicksilver is banned, economies that rely on gold mining are at risk of collapse.
We're doing all this hard work, and just due to the silver, we don't put it.
One of the last countries legally importing mercury is Guyana, making it the nexus for smuggling mercury into neighboring countries, where it's being outlawed.
Well, for me, it's very good because it's the only job I have and look after my family like this.
Since ratifying an international treaty in 2014 aimed at reducing mercury, known as the Minamata Convention, the Guyanese government must phase out its use, putting miners who rely on mercury at odds with the government.
They can't stop that, no matter what they do. They gotta build a fence in the motherfucking river.
Our investigation delves into the underworld of mercury, following its path from Guyana to neighboring Suriname, exploring the health and environmental consequences, and what the prohibition of mercury would mean for the livelihoods of miners and communities across the Amazon. $20,000 kilos of mercury are legally imported into the Guyanese capital of Georgetown every year from the US, Russia, the UK, and other countries. Increasingly, large quantities are also being imported by Chinese businessmen on the black market, representing a multi-million-dollar industry of both legal and illicit trade in mercury. In the center of Georgetown, dozens of gold shops and mining supply stores divide up and sell mercury under the table in small quantities. From here, minibuses and charter planes distribute the mercury to small-time buyers at gold mines throughout the interior of Guyana and traffic it to neighboring countries where it is sold at 10 times the price. Talking about mercury is taboo for most traders, who lack the paperwork to legally move the liquid metal. None of the mercury merchants were willing to speak on record or on camera. So our investigation first takes us to Mahdia, a historic gold-producing center in Guyana's interior, surrounded by mines scattered throughout the lush forests. In one of these mines, we meet an operator who requested his identity be concealed to prevent being associated with an illegal method of mining with mercury.
The ward now, come see this, put a charge on me. If I see them coming, I gotta hide it or something, because they don't want this here. Early morning, sometimes 5 o'clock, you gotta get up and go in the cold water. You gotta go overboard and start pumping this water. There's be whole days from 6 to 6 every day. Something you get 10 penny weight, 5 penny weight, 6 penny weight. But the gold's so fine, without the silver you can't trap it. Yeah, silver, mercury. Drop it on the sheet. Silver into the ponto, trap gold to here right here. You see the silver still running. No, without the silver you can't catch no gold. This morning, but like 2 cork, 2 is corky, but the ounce of silver. Used for the sheet plus here. Cause the gold like powder, real fine.
Mercury binds with flecks of gold to form an amalgam that's easier to collect. Without it, miners would go home empty-handed.
And wife and kids, the way them get food to eat. And in the mines, to get his gold and get solid gold, get his money to let them go to school. Yes, it's very important.
If the government don't want the silver and it go on legal, we got to go and get it, so we will do it. If it go underground, the market get far more expensive. If find gold around here, yo, we gonna punish all small miners with cry. We suffer.
The bustling commerce of Mahdia embodies the free spirit of the Guyanese interior. Gold fever has a firm grip on the people here, demanding a constant stream of mercury. Miners, toiling for weeks on end, go to town to sell their gold and spend their money in bars and on women, almost all of whom are fleeing the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela. Buyers and jewelers in Mahdia burn off excess mercury from fresh mined gold, turning a shapeless mass into refined bars, all the while exposing themselves to an invisible danger.
No problem then. I would not have someone who would make 20 ounce or 30 ounce of gold and come to sell here. They would go to Georgetown. But someone coming with a 1, 2, 3, 4 penny weight, 10 penny weight, these are the people support the business here. So basically, smelting, or you're dealing with a lot of mercury, you're supposed to be suited up, geared up, definitely. You do your weight. This is the last stage what I'm going to go do, burning the mercury off the gold. Now you can see I'm doing it without the gloves. Someone might look at it and say it's definitely wrong, yes, but I trust the extractor fan that I bought now. No, I feel 100% secure with the system now. What I used to use before, it didn't have the power to do that. Mercury would have been floating everywhere around. Everyone would have been affected with that. So it comes through here, the mercury comes through here, straight into the impeller here, and it gets captured with a shower head of water. There's a water system coming through a water pump here too, at the same time. So at the same time, the water keep rotating from the bottom into the shower head, beating the mercury down. Before, I was definitely exposed and wasn't education-wise what's happening around me. If we don't have mercury, you're saying what is going to happen to mining? I think large-scale miners would benefit more. Small miners, I am depending on here right now. They will fade away, definitely. They will be pushed aside. It would create, I am thinking if this is what I'm doing to support my family only, what else am I going to look at? What am I supposed to do?
Gold mining has been the dominant economy in communities like Mahdia for generations. But for many in the industry who have worked with the toxic quicksilver, the long-term health effects can be devastating.
It's important to be treated and get the mercury out of your system than let it stay and build up and cause organ damage. We are going to see what's happening with your blood pressure.
When I left home, it was 129.
Okay. The patients that I've seen are miners, jewelers, persons who burn mercury along this chain legally and illegally. Unfortunately, mercury can affect the neurological system, the brain and nervous system. It can also affect the muscles, the liver, can cause some impotence. The kidney and urinary system. It can affect the genital system. There are persons who are employed by foreign companies, and their job description is just to handle the mercury, handle and burn the mercury. And they're coming with the highest levels of mercury. The test for the mercury is kind of costly in comparison to what persons earn in this country. So most persons didn't go at all. There are quite a few rumors, even in Georgetown and beyond Georgetown, about what the treatment, the mercury treatment entails, the side effects, etc. And that's another deterrent in terms of treating persons who have mercury contamination. Those rumors are incorrect. I've treated now over 400 persons. The side effects, the way that the protocols that I've set up are extremely minimal. I know patients who I've had for 10 years or so, jewelers, etc., whose mercury kept climbing, and they wouldn't go because they didn't even know where to go, and the cost of the passage and then the cost of the treatment, that seems to be a deterrent.
And sometime during the course of the morning, I just start feeling this, the burning start.
Often the males and the minors, etc., take a long time to come unless something major is happening to them.
Despite consensus among medical professionals about the health impacts of mercury, many miners prefer to turn a blind eye.
To me, when I look at mercury, it's not so dangerous like the impression that they're giving people. They say you would be impotent, you would make children deform. My father's 84, presently no. They used to use like half bucket of mercury. My father makes 17 children with my mother. 17 children. I have 17 brothers and 16 with myself, 17. My mother and father still alive, strong.
While challenges remain around health awareness in mining communities, mercury is too profitable to abandon. Trafficking the element into neighboring countries where it's being banned has become big business. Next, we're heading to Riverton to meet with the quicksilver smugglers on the border of Guyana and Suriname.
It's illegal, yeah, but you ain't doing nothing like extraterrestrial. It's not like you're bringing in uranium or you're bringing in fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Beaches in Riverton are popular weekend party spots during the day, but are also key trafficking points between Guyana and Suriname at night.
It's an open beach, you know what I'm saying? Most fishery, but you can't tell what Guyana at night time. We don't be out there, you know what I'm saying? But one thing do wash up on the shore.
Mercury is often trafficked with gold and drugs over the same networks by the same smugglers. This blend of illicit economies creates opportunity to multiply profits for anyone willing to take the risk.
Mercury, it's illegal over there, but it's legal over here. So you're gonna find that the demand over there is mad. It's mad high. So no matter what you say about your laws and everything, we still gotta survive because at the end of the day, I gotta try to hustle to get it. For me, it's a way out of this because it's a strugglation, I'll tell you that much. So things gonna always be going. Come here. You gotta get sensors in the fucking water all the time. And it make no sense, you know what I'm saying? They can't stop that, no matter what they do. But maybe to the governments or whosoever, it's gonna be a legal trade. But we don't give a fuck about them because at the end of the day, they don't give us none. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make your living.
At dawn, a boat smuggler agrees to take us across a backtrack, a series of informal river crossings from Guyana to Suriname, facilitating contraband across country borders and greasing the wheels of the local economy.
The Mercury was going out of place, but without the people's eyes. Now we're there, this is the channel for the river. And over there, you reach Suriname, you know. But they don't travel like daytime. Like soon as the night close, take it. Yeah. And they load it in the boat and go to Suriname. Like a then flask. A flask big like this. Because a lot of danger, they charge you money. If you get catched by the police in Suriname, you go to jail. The guy who purchased it, he's going down the other side waiting. And we drop off, he collect it.
On the Suriname side of the river, we're introduced to a former boat captain who knows about the trade.
Als die mensen die met een vuur spelen, die mensen gaan branden, ik ga niet branden. Dus wanneer je met vuur speelt, dan ga je branden. Ik ben hier oudste van het werk. 40 jaar lang ben ik bezig met de werk van hier. Vanaf kleins af ging ik voetballen. En in de tijd was meneer Pele in bloei. Ik ging goed voetballen en de mensen hebben me een bijnaam gegeven van P.
Wordt ook gesmokkeld hier, of niet?
Ja, s'avonds. Wij werken niet s'avonds. Wij werken alleen maar overdag. 7 tot 6 uur. Maar wat er nadien gebeurt, daar ben ik helemaal niet verantwoordelijk van die stukje daar.
De dingen die er s'avonds gebeuren, is dat precies hier?
Nee, hier mag het niet toch. Hier is die post. Hier gaat niets gebeuren. Daarom zeg ik, de grens is heel groot open. Van Kabalebo tot Marowijnen. Dus wat er buiten de grens gebeurt, wie gaat weten wat er gebeurt. Maar het gebeuren dingen.
En sinds wanneer ben je zelf gestopt met Quick?
Ik ben bijna 5 maanden zo. Ik ben 60 jaar geworden, dan ben ik gewoon de rust gaan nemen voor mijn werkzaamheden. Die fles weegt 34 kilo. En te verpakken in een kleine flesjes. In orde, meneer?
En ietsje meer over het Quick tot van Suriname nu naar Guyana?
Nee. Ik kan niet meer. Wat ik weet, dat vertel ik aan je.
Mercury filters into Suriname through the backtrack and hidden in vehicles on the customs-controlled ferry crossing, where it passes unseen through border checkpoints. Our investigation now takes us to Brunswick, in the heart of Suriname. While the former Dutch colony hasn't legally imported mercury since 2004, gold mining remains the engine of the Surinamese economy. More than half of the gold is extracted using mercury bought and sold on the black market. For African-descendant Maroon communities in Brunswick and elsewhere in Suriname's interior, gold mining is the most lucrative industry available. But their community-based mining operations are being criminalized due to their reliance on mercury. Large foreign companies favored by the government use the toxic chemical cyanide and are pushing locally run operations out of business.
No, look at you, puru wa wapchi e play na nga nefi toch?
Voor puro aan nefinapchi, anu dat je moest geen wat tiki.
Dus like 5 euro even een model de, tak brada, look on a quick, only ba quick look on tra systeem ja. Want de mai taki, maar nooit de man kon sorry. Eigenlijk een model zal de mai taki, gralante taki. A quick waba quick van udu, like van de mai worko dat pe no. Te ook bawasa doti, voor verzamelaar go to, dat dape we aba quick van udu. Lek va cocaïne de. Ina ma presi pe tak dape ina weet je dape waka go bij cocaïne to. Nou voor verboden spel to. Nou dat zo normaal quick de.
Comment ça on sait la quick, ils n'ont pas souvent. Mais à la face où on a bien fait nous, dat we bien. In feite, na rekeren moest zitten sani, want dan de grenzen zijn wijd open. Dan allemaal doen samen wat moest doen. Voor de overheid kon je een training dat je doet. Heren, om aan te werken goed doen. Hoe doe je zo? Dan word je zonder quick. Dat milieu in het vervuild worden. Dus dan, als je het is een alternatief, je kan zorgen dat disi, dan gaat dis om zorgen. Dat we tegen abra dat we liever quick.
De mai fe tak unu, de kima sai woroko ja, we do ta presi. Nang asiani de mai woroko. En asiani de sa de mai woroko dat. Ik denk dat kan de Tamara if kan bioro gue, de mau pura asiani de. De mano ma pura moro to. Sameshi, akwek sawe woroko ja, ano gevaarlijk mogelijk asiani de sa de bigi bedrijf Europa. So dat lanti, adelijk a voordeel sa de ma de bigi bedrijf. De man ook abe na unu de kima. Dat de man is span.
Suriname is the world's most densely forested country. More than 90% of its territory is covered by jungle. But once mercury is burned in the mines or by smelters, it's carried hundreds of kilometers by trade winds, deposited by rainfall, eventually contaminating pristine ecosystems.
Even when you stop mercury tomorrow, it's still there. The mercury that's already in the system will remain there for ages. It binds to small sediment particles. Those settle on the bottom. A fish comes, goes around in the mud, and the mercury is released again and available for organisms for take-up. Anyomara, Aymara, sometimes called in English, is the giant wolffish. That's a fish that grows this size. Piranhas are also often eaten and are also high in mercury. And of course that's a problem because people like to eat big fish. That of course is not the whole story. As a biologist I also have to think of other organisms. There are a lot of fish-eating animals that are also impacted and we do not know anything about what the impact is, like otters, a lot of birds that are dependent on fish. We don't know because we do not measure. 5 centuries, 10 centuries, I don't know, but it's very persistent. Stopping the mercury is what you have to do because it becomes worse and worse.
In the Surinamese capital of Paramaribo, Professor Dennis Whip has been collecting air samples, displaying extreme levels of mercury contamination in the heart of the city's booming gold district of Belaine. Once considered a problem in far-off mines, this new research suggests a major public health threat to urban populations.
We have a big problem because of the high mercury concentration in the air. The wind will take the mercury vapor and it will divert it, and it depends what kind of mercury you have. It is only vapor, then we know that it's transported over kilometers, 10, 20, even 100 of kilometers it can be transported. And in Paramaribo we have seen measurements that are 6 to 12 times higher than what we have measured in the gold fields. That means that in town we need to take care of the gold business that we have in Paramaribo. They purify the gold by a higher temperature than they do it in the field. So the emissions are quite high because of the fact that the retorts are not properly functioning. So we have a big problem because of the high mercury concentration in the air. We have measures at some places in town about 30,000 nanograms per cubic meter. 1 microgram is very, 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 very high. We haven't done medical surveys. We haven't taken samples of blood or urine. We haven't taken those samples, and we haven't looked at the bodies. We need to have more medical tests and, in fact, a big medical survey in Paramaribo to look at this.
Our investigation has reached its end in Paramaribo, the key mineral trading hub of the Guyana Shield region. Gold from Guyana and Suriname makes its way to refineries in countries like Switzerland, Canada, and the Middle East, and then onto the international market. As long as demand remains high, the communities close to the mines like Mahdia and Brunswick will continue to depend on and suffer the consequences of mercury use. Trafficking routes are as fluid as mercury itself, adapting to law enforcement like any black market. While miners fear that tighter prohibition might destroy their livelihoods, traders and traffickers anticipate millions of dollars in profits stemming from the new restrictions. All the while, mercury continues to leave its mark on the Amazon.